we're gonna start recording. Forgot to do it before, but now we can do it. All right. So the thing about the Bolt is that you're gonna have a lot of checkboxes, and we want to offer you the tools to do it with ease. What were the points that you wanted me to touch upon, Therese?
It was a gym, but I put the I put the vaults document in the chat. Can you bring it up?
Yes. I mean, I can talk about the Bolt, but I don't know if you have a specific something.
So the goal here is to finish finish your grant. That's why you're here. Um, and we want you to just start from today, like getting in the final lane of finishing your grant. Um, these are some dates that will help you move your bus forward. So right now, what we'd like for you to do, I've shared the document with y'all, is to just go in and put down, what percentage you're at. You know, um, if you're 45%, 50%.
Um,
If you haven't worked on it yet, you don't need to put a 0. Um, you can just leave it blank. But if you've completed it, just put complete. Um, in the weeks to come, this is going to be very helpful because you're going to realize you're coming to the other side. You're like finishing, and it's going to be like, damn it! It's been 7 weeks since I've been working on the same, document. But when you come back here and you look at it, you're like, oh, snap! I'm 75% there. It will give you more ease.
mm, uh,
So, who would like to be who'd like to do the honors to start filling this out? We want to fill it out before, and we want you to fill it out with wherever you are by the end of today's session, so that in your last 1 to 2 coaching sessions, we can support you and getting those numbers to 100% completed.
um, I have a quick note.
Note.
A note. So the first one is add this file to your drive. You can put it in the folder, the Arts Collab folder that you're working on, so that you know exactly where to go look for it when you are wanting to update it. Number one. Number two, for this part, for the work samples, we're going to talk about work samples immediately after this, but I would love for you to write the specific work samples that you're developing, okay? Because a lot of times work samples can be like, oh yeah, my work samples. No, 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 no. Give me, because we're gonna need 3 for each of you. So I want you to say video about, video recording of my class, my class with children, right? Number 2, video of that conference that I did one time. Number 3, picture of me leading a meeting or something like that, right? But to be as specific as possible so that so that you have clarity on that you are needing to do some specific work on every specific work sample. Okay. Now come. Give us percentages exactly. By the
No,
way,
bring in a
somebody's
sample.
writing here.
That's the cheese coast. It's me.
Okay, 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 okay,
I'm making a sample.
okay.
Is it possible to just send shoot me a quick email with this link?
Yes, this is
Sure.
going to be in your post-game notes for sure. And I can also send it to you on WhatsApp right now.
Okay, yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. Pause. You don't have to do that. It's okay.
Okay.
Is WhatsApp okay, or do you want it emailed? What's going to work for you, Lara?
I can pull it up right here in the Zoom and email it to myself. And
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
it's all right. Just because I'm signed in to conserve battery, I'm signed
Yes.
in to the meeting on my phone, but then I'm doing all my work on my laptop, so my laptop's battery's not being drained by our meeting. Does that make
Good.
sense?
I already shared it to your email,
Copy.
so you're gonna
Oh,
get familiar with it.
okay, cool. Because yeah, then all the videos just me like tapping my screen and my finger here.
Beautiful.
And mute.
Okay. Yeah. So come. Yeah, for those things that you don't have, you can just leave it blank, put an X, put a mark, put a something. I'm gonna make this the format of everything here percentage.
All
So
right, bueno, bueno, bueno.
all right, take a minute with that. Take a minute, and um, we're going to jump on our next session in 2 minutes.
So congratulations on just starting to put the numbers in.
Yes, look at that.
And Dusty, if you could switch that to a percentage, I don't know if the X means that you still need to do it, or
Or, yeah,
like you could put not complete. Like, but yes, this is a music to my eyeballs. My eyes aren't dancing; they're just looking at your numbers.
Can you refresh my memory again as to when the grant is due? Is it the 7th or is it the 15th?
We're aiming for the 7th, so that nevertheless you will be in the home stretch and ideally completed by the 7th, because you can work on the grant until 15 minutes before it's due, but we want to support you in finishing it early.
Okay. But the final due date is the 15th?
Yes.
the institutional date is the 15th, and we want to leave you. We want to have one final kind of like session that where we're going to submit our grants together.
Everybody's submitting their grant, so it's
Yeah.
like we've done this in
All right.
other cohorts, and I'd say 95% of the folks were able to get it in during the submission party. They had to put some skin in it in the back into it, but they were able to do it. And basically, what we do is we just get together. We're on Zoom. You're up first, and you're dropping your
Michael.
stuff in. If you have any questions on file size, we help you with that last minute, and then everyone's like, "Yes, Khalid has submitted his grant. Lara has submitted her grant, etc., etc., etc."
No, no, no. One more. Can you do one more?
Invigorating.
Can you do one more?
Rashida has Mirage, Michael, and Valerie, and Daphne have all submitted their grants.
Just the sound. This is so good. Okay.
That's my don't take yourself too seriously whistle for myself, and I have next to my barrel of monkeys for the monkey mind business.
Beautiful. All right, folks. Let's take a moment here. For those of you, uh, Michael, Gilberto, Igualan is not here today. Okay, beautiful. So we're going to move on to our next section of the day, which is to talk about your work samples. Your work samples are going to be something super powerful, not only for this grant, but for every grant in the future. And I'm not gonna, this program is not based on do A, then B, then C, then you're good, right? We want you to really understand the mechanics behind it, so that if or rather when you have to create a new work sample, you know exactly what things to look for and to center around this. This is basically an exercise of storytelling, right? And I think that one thing common in this group is that we're all storytellers. with different platforms, yes, with different practices, yes, with different aesthetics, yes, but we know how to tell a killing story. So the story that we are trying to tell in through these work samples is very simple. Is, this is my work. This is what I'm really, really, really good at, and this is how it looks in action. This is how it looks when I have a successful project out in the world. So last week we started talking about this with some specifics from the grant application, which is you will have up to three. You don't have to do three, but you can take up to three work samples um, to present them. You have 800 megabytes of space to submit these work samples, which can mean you can upload video files. It's giving you a good amount of information to submit, like a video file or like an audio. Audios are generally smaller than that, but in case that you have something that is larger than 800 megabytes, you can upload a PDF with the link to YouTube, to Vimeo, to any platform that, yeah, you're utilizing to host your your files. Important notes about this: if you're sending folks to an external link, make sure that the link is active, that it works. Make sure that you are mentioning the time frame, right? Another important guideline is you will have up to 5 minutes. Um, the panel reviewers are going to take up to 5 minutes in your work samples. So if you have a work sample that is 5 minutes, it means that it's going, the time is going to go all on that work sample, or then you can select one specific portion of it, right? Like start at minute 210, finish at minute 335, right? So that is 1 minute. That is 1 minute and change that you're taking for this particular work sample, right? Now, in my experience, when you have to review work samples, you generally go to the first one. If the first one is really convincing, you don't go to the rest. Um, that's why you want to have like a really, really, really good first sample. And the second thing that is important to say is, again, you don't have to submit three work samples. So if you have two things that are solid, that are really good, don't worry too much about submitting the third one. A lot of artists do this thing where they shoot themselves in the foot by submitting, oh, I have this blurry picture of me, playing second guitar in the stage of Coachella, right? And it just looks like a blurry image. And you're trying to convey this big story through this blurry picture. Sometimes it's better to just like go with the pristine work sample that really showcases your vision, your work, your practice, etc., rather than like, oh, and this is my picture that I took with Carlos Santana in 10 years ago, right? And even if the story is really good about that, if you cannot convey it with, like if you don't find the good way to convey it with quality, sometimes it's better to just leave that out. Okay. The last thing that I'm going to say is, depending on the sample that you have, we're going to create the narrative and the framework around that um, separately. Okay, so I want you to take a moment right now and in the chat drop, uh, since we asked you to start looking into your work samples, I would love for you to drop in the chat what are the samples that you are thinking to work on and to craft to be your work samples. Okay, take 1 minute in the chat.
Can you repeat that? Because I lost some sound. Sorry. Just
Absolutely,
that
yeah,
last.
yeah. Yeah. Take 1 minute to drop in the chat the three things that you are wanting to include in your work samples, right? I have a video of myself performing at such and such festival. Good. I have a video of myself directing, conducting a training for children or for, that's Michael saying it's, I have a clip of a composition. Tell me a little bit more about that, Michael. Clip of a composition that talks about, or, because what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be taking these things that you are naming here, and we're going to be giving you light on how to better craft this into a deliverable, right? A work sample. So take 1 minute while I fetch my work samples. Um, there you go. Very good. Very good. Okay, let's take it from here. Clip of a composition, video of interactive MIDI control changing sounds, beautiful. Vinyl record product shots, oh nice. Musical press for completed musical project, live showcase highlighting performance. 2 previous film clips or trailer and 1 pic of myself as an educator, beautiful. I have a video of myself explaining and demonstrating my song care practice. Just recently, I had a photo of myself. I had photos of myself teaching a group of adult vocalists. I have a documentary style video of a collective I created sharing. All right. So
You can use flyers, but let's talk about it. Like, how does that flyer stand up to another sample?
mhm. B-roll footage of performance. Okay. So the first question that I want to ask you all is, okay, okay. It's, yeah. Don't worry, don't worry. It's all good. Valerie, and we will have this recording. All right. So the first question that I have to ask to you is, are these work samples related to the particular project that you're applying for? I know some of your projects well because we have been working on them. So I know I am seeing that, yeah, like there's consistency, right? So for example, that's I would ask you, right? Since your project is Ghetto Superstars, right? And we're trying to create this shared space. Um, I think that having some footage of things that you have performed and directed in, or projects that you have curated, That's a good idea. And I would also include footage from the other events, right? Footage from the past events that you've already created, curated, and then it is a very intentional, like, hey, this is what it's going to look like, or this is the feeling that we're trying to create with our project, right? I want to start by sharing with you. I think we shared some of these last week. This is Gabriel. This is Gabriel. So these are pictures of the program. This is him. These are the children that he's been educating. This is part of like what the moments of the training look like, right? Now, I want to note something here. This particular grant allow you space to add a description to every work sample. This particular the grant application that we're working on right now allows us to add the kind of like the title and a little bit of content, but not a lot. So in this case, Gabriel had the opportunity to include the context of these pictures in the format of the application. In your case, guys, I would love for you to take this same format of creating a PDF, but I would particularly include the context in here. Okay, take note of that. So you're going to let me take another one of the I think Michael was saying, what was Michael saying? Video of an interactive MIDI control changing sounds, right? What I would do with this is, you're gonna share either pictures or video of that. But if you're sharing pictures, do it just like this. If you're sharing video and pictures, you just have the link of your video up here, really high
Well,
up.
yeah, as you scroll through, can I just add, Arturo, you're doing great.
Yeah,
So what I would say is, let's say you have two samples that are static. Have your video be the last one, so it's like they're looking, and then they're clicking. So, but so there's not like look, click, look. It's like you have them go from one action to another, so it's just a smooth transition. Mirage, here's an example of he didn't have any pictures, but he had this flyer of this open mic. And the big thing here was that the artists were actually paid.
yeah.
And Khaled raised his hand.
Yes, Khaled.
So with this work sample here, something like this, a PDF still has to be under 800 megabytes, the
Yes,
size of it? Okay.
yes.
So, okay.
Yeah, do you have a follow-up?
Well, so if you do picture and video or PDF and links,
Uh-huh.
it all still has to remain under 800 megabytes in total.
No, that is a pro tip. That is the pro tip that when you link it to an external source, the file doesn't weigh on your application. Okay, just for clarity, what the limit that they're putting for this, for the cap that they're putting, is because like they don't have limitless storage capabilities in this organization. So you cannot, like, they would end up with like 100 gigabytes, right, worth of content. Imagine the amount of artists that are going to be applying times their 800 megabytes, right? So basically they're trying to limit it for that reason. But if you're uploading things to YouTube that has limitless space, you can just link it to that video, and then it doesn't count on your 800 megabytes. All right. Now, can you do? I wanna share my work samples with you. Can you do perhaps links and pictures? Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Yeah, I think if you go to the 5th page, you'll see on his that there's a link at the last page.
Oh, well, look, this is cool, and it reads here. Click on the image, right? I'd love for it to look to say something like link included, like something very specific. But then you click here. Oh, by the way, we're not gonna run this thing. Last week we had a little bit of a ban on our video because of the sound of this video of this.
Really?
Yes, it's not a ban, but it just didn't. You know, YouTube is a little weird. But yeah, let me show you real quick my work sample. We, you know, one of the things that we did recently, Theresa and I, is we applied for a grant where we utilized the same work sample, right? This was it, or it was a similar work sample. So this is very simple, guys. You just open your Google Docs. Open your Google Docs. You know, Arturo Mendez work sample number 3. Remember, you have 3, and you want to name every work sample. You want it to have your name, the name of the work sample, and what are they looking at? Why does this matter, right? And then you can see, you know, this is the flyer for first cohort. This is a link to a video of one of our past cohorts. And this is just like, you know, just having some final thoughts of the cohort, right? I don't know if you're going to be able to listen to. Can you hear this?
Particular programming is really just trusting myself and my ability, and also you know,
Right.
like
So basically I'm telling the story of, like, you know, we're creating this program, Arts Collab, through a series of visionary programs, strives to create strong network of artists, creative professionals, etc., right? And then they open the link, and that's exactly the story that they're hearing, right? So it has this punch, this thing of like, this is why, this is the why, and this is the what. This is how it looks in action. So again, for yourselves, guys, yeah, that's how it's going to look like. Is like, this is the project that I did, this is the reason or the how I did it, and this is how it looks in the making, in the flesh, right? Do you have questions? I want to take time to just have a little Q&A.
Arturo, just a point of clarification. So I see for yours, it said, or it appeared to have 3. Can you hear me?
Yes.
It appeared to have 3 work samples.
Mhm.
On the one that you showed previously, his looked like he had about 5.
He had 5. His work samples were for the San Francisco, no, for the California Arts Council, that allowed you up to 5.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Any more questions? I'm gonna pick somebody here,
I do have a question
please.
because my thing is for wellness.
Mhm.
And so I have things that speak to like the cultural piece of what I'm doing, but I think I have with like a picture of me teaching a wellness class or a video of kind of like a wellness space that I've created previously, would that be sufficient as a work sample?
Rashida, for
Yeah.
this amazing project that you're birthing, you're going to need to create a sample so that they can hear you, they can get a sense of your voice and your affirmations, and it can just be you with like it can be the picture, and then you have audio behind it, or it can be you at home, but you really your project is like very audio based, so
Mhm.
we need to have your audio.
Okay.
We just need to, all is well. We just need to demonstrate in it through a sample that you're legit and you're going to be bringing some affirmations and mad yoga beats.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's valid to, it's so completely valid to create a work sample. That's exactly what we're doing right now, right? We are fetching some things that we have from the past, pictures, videos, something, and we can craft it into a new thing so that we can present it, right? Khaled.
So to those points that Teresa and you just made about crafting something. Now, I'm assuming for most of us, myself included, what we're trying to do is completely new, or else completely different from some of the things we've done in the past. Like it's separate from the things we've done in the past. So using past work samples, how am I trying to put it? I guess using past work samples is okay to use those past work samples as a way of saying, hey, I've done this in the past, and this is what informs this project I'm doing for the future.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Yes.
And you've got great samples. I mean, the stuff that you showed us, I'm like sold 300% that you're going to be able to do the project that you want to do.
Oh, thank you. All right.
That because ultimately, the project is not the same as we as we have clarified many times. This is an innovation part of innovation, but the elements that you have displayed in the past are the tools that you're going to use for your future work. So I want to take a moment, Laurita, because we look at your work sample. So Laura is uh, developing this system of music lessons slash performance that is, movable, like a pop-up style. So part of her work samples, or the things that you already have, is, for example, pictures of you teaching, a videos of you teaching. So this would be a good format, like you're writing the thing that you have, you're writing the thing that you're presenting. Just show pictures of yourself teaching. You maybe create a link to the video of you teaching, and then at the bottom you put some of the information that you are sharing with them, right? Like you put like, this is my class preparation worksheet, or this is my list of things um, that I do before my class. Because again, this is your work sample, so it's gonna be a sample of what is that you're doing hands-on. Couple more questions before we start wrapping it up.
I just shared a document with you. It's in like the folder with all of our themes, and it's kind of like these samples that I want to share.
Mhm.
But rather than the PDF route, I think that most of my samples, right, they're video samples, and so I thought of just making a video, just like a 3 minute video, maybe just like playing ukulele in the background and demonstrating some of the children's music, and just kind of like, like a slideshow video documentative kind of short, like commercial. I don't know if that is helpful. It's not like it's any more work for me, but I just think if I see a PDF, and of course YouTube has it where you can like start videos at a certain marker and clicking on it, like I just I would feel more comfortable maybe just like submitting the video, just being like, here is the project in video format. But I
mhm.
guess the problem is like I'm trying to like steer away from online experiences and really cultivate in-person experiences. So like presenting this online, you know, version of it is interesting. I don't know if that's too.
Well, I have a couple of ideas about that. The first one is, this is the format that we have to work with. So, as great storytellers, we take, what was that phrase? I'm a musician, give me a tuba and I'll get something from it, right? Something out of
Mm.
it. So you tell the story with the elements that you have, number one. Number two, uh, whatever you want to do, just not, I think that you already have great work to show as is. And I would not want to uh, giving your monkey mind a lot of space here to be like, oh, I need to send this perfectly crafted video or else I am not going to, be noticed, right? You will be noticed. You will be noticed. They're not going to be like, oh, she didn't go through the, like this process of creating one simple, no, 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 no. Again, that's why they are giving you options, and within those options, this is part of what you have. If you have the bandwidth, the capacity, the willingness to create a new work sample, that's totally fine. But then again, do it for the right reasons. Don't give your, like, yeah, don't give your monkey mind room to be like, oh, but if I don't do this perfectly, no, 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 no. You do have great work. Put it in a format that is clear. That's the only thing that we want. We don't need it. We don't even need it to be like super pretty. We just really need to be clear, concise, and to the point. Okay.
Um, is that jazz coming from you or Laura?
Me,
Here's some jazz.
me,
Can you turn it down a little bit?
yeah.
Okay.
I'll just go back on mute.
I think it's a person. It's okay. Uh-huh. Yes.
So we're at 12:19. I think we're going to need to do the budget and the individual sessions.
Okay. Okay. Give me just five. Can I take 5 minutes to just give folks a very clear intro?
Sure. That's great.
I wanna give you guys an intro for the work that you need to do for your budget. Um, I want you to see, because of course budgeting is one of the hardest or the most monkey mind prone parts of the application. Oh, what are they going to see? I'm not an accountant. I'm not a tax person. I don't know. What I want you to do is, as you clarify your project, I want you to sit down and think about it in real time. How is it going to look like for me to show up to say a pop-up? I'm going to take Laura's example in this case that we are already discussed. How is it going to look for me to create a pop-up experience out in the world, right? Do I need a tent? Do I need a tarp? Do I need a whiteboard? Do I need instruments? Do I need expenses for traveling? Do I need promotionals, right? Like posters, flyers. Um, do I need, production, right? Like production costs associated with like maybe creating a jingle, creating a whatever it is. So this is all going to be like a big jigsaw puzzle that is going to be complemented. Now, because we have been supporting you in getting clarity on your projects, I think that we are all at a good stage where we can jump into this visionary reality and look at the needs, the specific needs. Um, of course, as we said, we're going to work on this on our personal space and our personal time. A couple of the things that I really just want to put forward is the things that are not going to be funded by the CCI. Real quick. Budget. Okay, here. The project budget will convey everything that the applicant needs to fully realize their proposed work. Labor, materials, equipment, research, travel expenses, items that might need to be reflected, okay? You have a sample budget here. Where did you take me? Oh, did you take me out? Hold on. Here. Huh.
There.
So we're going to include this in your post-game notes so that you can start messing with it. We're gonna get a little more clarity on our coaching time, and we're going to dedicate time in our next session to do your budgets, right? Now, what is important about this, guys, is your budget doesn't need to be exactly $8,000 or $8,250. It can be more, it can be less. But if it is more, I want you to name like, okay, this is, you know, like my whole project is going to cost $15,000. Out of those $15,000, $8,000 I am going to get through this grant. $3,000 are going to come from, you know, community donations or this other organization, or they're going to be in-kind donations, for example, right? Particularly, this project will not support the rental of the space for presenting, right? I'm gonna make a note of that in the post-game notes. This will not say, for example, Dacier's project. We're going to create a intergenerational celebration ceremony, right? But we are going to need a space to do that. So you can include, say, I already talked to Mission Dance Theater, and they're going to allow us to utilize the theater, for example, right? So you can include that in the budget. The cost of the theater is $3,000, but you can see that this is going to be in kind, right? And that it is committed. Which that means is that out of the total of your budget, this amount is already kind of like allocated, it's committed, which of course gives your project a little oomph, right? A little push, because what you're saying is that you're doing this project, is your individual project, but you already have support backing it up. Okay. It's not necessary to have that, but it helps, right? So look at this. Income. These are the sources of income. Investing in artist grant, this is the amount of the grant. These are all things that, you know, you already have kind of like committed or projected or pending, right? And these are all of your expenses. You see that in the end, the total of both things match. Okay. I think we're gonna leave it at that. Do we have any questions before we let go? Before we move on? You don't see anything, Michael. Let me try and re-share my screen.
For the grant recipients and the voucher information, we just fill out the voucher. Do we send that back to them, or do we CC you on it, or is there any?
Oh, we're gonna get to that in just a minute. Okay.
Okay.
I think we're gonna leave it here. Okay. Beautiful. Now we're gonna move to the last part of our day before we start saying goodbye. We have two amazing folks presenting today. And ladies and gentlemen, I want you to give a very welcome, a very warm welcome to the budget. No, come on. There you go. Ta-da! You wanna take this on, Therese?
Hi, Rashida. Can you come on the camera?
I think I can see her couch.
Rashida. Rashida.
There you go.
So,
Sorry.
Rashida, we've come to that point in the cohort where we talk about your art practice so that folks know what you're up to and also potentially, you know, what you're about and how they could possibly collaborate with you or send information your way. So, um, tell us about you
Oh, about me.
and your
Oh
practice.
my God. Uh, and my practice. I've been an artist, a serious artist, for about 28 years now. I started performing when I was 14. Um, Now I am doing quite a few different things. I am singing and performing less, and now creating spaces where I'm able to hire my friends and curate concerts. So actually, right now, next week on July 29th, I've curated a concert for Beloved Insistence, which is an amazing installment that's going to be done by Regina Evans. It is geared towards people who are being trafficked in Oakland right now, sex trafficked in Oakland. And so on July 29th, we're going to be building altars, and these altars will they'll have flowers, but they'll also have food, condoms, water, resources, and information for young people who are being trafficked in that area. And so I've, like I said, I curated the concert. It's going to be from 3 to 9 p.m. So that's my upcoming thing that I have going on. I also was the director for AMP Oakland, which is art, music, and performance. And it was a downtown series that was a collaboration between my company, Liberated Culture, Ivy Hill Entertainment, and Oakland Central to put musicians and artists in all of the squares in downtown Oakland. So in 2019, 3 days a week, we had various artists who were performing in the squares. And so we're hoping to be able to continue that maybe in an abbreviated way later this year, and possibly virtually again, like we ended up having to do last year. But I am also, like I said, a vocalist. My project for this grant specifically is creating songs, uplifting songs, and meditative music with affirmations for yoga and wellness classes that I'll be teaching in some young musicians mentorship courses, and also for some community classes that I'll be teaching as well. Some things that I'll be offering in the spring.
Awesome. Do you have any samples that you could take us to as far as your work goes?
Let's see. I don't know, really my Instagram page is where most of my stuff is posted, but something that I did recently, last year, I was nominated to participate in a program called Creatives in Place. And it was geared towards showing how artists were surviving and thriving in the pandemic. And so there were 22 of us that were selected, and we, hold on, sorry, I'm trying to pull it up and talk at the same time. And so we were interviewed, we were given a grant to further our practice and just to live. And so I got a chance to speak on just my experience as an artist. I'll put it in the chat because it's audio, so you can listen to it later.
Okay.
But also, as a result of this project, my photo is in downtown Oakland on 14th and Broadway. So this has been a really beautiful experience for me. But yeah.
And then can you also drop the note in about the amazing projects that you have coming up? I love this. That
Yes.
for the sex trafficking support.
Yes. I will. Where is that? Just a second, because I don't know that she created an event for it, but I will link you to the post that Regina made.
Anything? What's going on here?
Oh, this was in 2019, a play that I was in with Regina Evans about trafficking. And so
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is an amazing, 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 amazing picture of you as healer.
I never heard about that.
Anybody else see what I'm seeing?
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, the guitar's in the background here.
Oh, you're good, but no, don't worry. It's totally fine. Beautiful, Rashida. Thank you.
Yes. I don't know how to find it. I have a link to this post.
Thank you for sharing. Does anybody have any questions about Rashida's offerings and art practice?
Well, I want to know, how did you incorporate like the wellness? Because part of something I'm looking to do is using music as medicine. So I do love the fact that you are a wellness advocate. Yeah, so I just wanted to know a little bit more, like, how did you incorporate that into music, or has that always been something that you incorporated into music?
No, absolutely not. I actually went to nursing school. And so that kind of changed my whole perspective on health and wellness. And I didn't sing for 10 years. So when I came back to it though, and I started performing and I was doing a little bit of touring, it was really it kind of started when my group, we went up to Oregon to perform in the Oregon Shakespeare Festival, and we had apartments. We didn't have hotel rooms up there because they put you up in these performers' apartments. And so I went grocery shopping, and I had all of my all of my vegetables, all of my fruit, all of this stuff. And everybody was teasing me at first. And I was like, look, I have to stay healthy on the road. Like, we're going to be gone for a week, and I can't just be eating junk food this whole time. And they all talked about me, but then they, be like, what are you cooking tonight? Like, what do you have what do you got going on? So then that kind of became a thing. Like every time we were going on trips, that I was cooking things for everybody, and that and they'd be like, well, what should we bring? What should we do? And that turned into some wellness consulting and stuff like that. So this specific compilation is going to be used in a program that I've created with a friend of mine. That's a music mentorship program for young musicians at Skyline High School. So it's going to be part of that, like teaching them not just about how to play their instruments and how to, how to be better musicians, but also how to take care of themselves. So that's the thought process behind this.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much. Can we all give some love to Rashida for sharing? Woo. And with further ado, I've got the next slide. Please, Arturo.
Into the next slide. Slide to the left.
Crisscross.
Dacier, would you please come to the building?
Chat, yo.
So tell us about what you're up to.
God, this is a hard question for me because I'm doing so much.
Dacier.
Yes.
So tell us what you're up to.
Right now, what am I up to? I am running a arts ensemble called Skywatchers, which works with recently housed and homeless residents of the Tenderloin. We meet weekly to have discussions about things that are most pressing in their lives, and we turn those discussions into different forms of art, which are presented publicly through open mics and through full-length performances. I also have my private arts practice, which consists of doing primarily solo plays that I write, produce, and perform. I also have begun curating within the last year. When the pandemic hit, I was just coming out with a book of poetry that I published recently called Black Baggage. And because we weren't doing any in-person events, everything went to Zoom, and I wasn't going to have a book event without doing something online. So I curated my first event around the celebration of my book, which turned into curating events called Ghetto Superstars, Living Legends, and the Up and Coming Legendary Children, which is an intergenerational event that seeks to bring queer performers, mostly people of color with the focus on Black performers, into the room together so that they can meet people that were generations ahead of them that they wouldn't have otherwise had contact with. Collaboration between emerging artists and established or more mature artists are encouraged during this time. And essentially what we do is we interview someone that we give the title Living Legend about their work path, how they got to where they were going, the trails that they blazed, what obstacles they confronted and what doors they opened, and then they perform some of their work. And then we have up and coming, or we call them ghetto superstars if they're established, up and coming legendary children if they're emerging, present work around the living legend genre so they can have conversation across generations artistically with one another. Is one of the projects I've been curating, and most recently, the most recent private project that I've had was called The 45th, which was a docudrama that I produced through the Queer Cultural Center recently, which essentially interviewed Black folk about the impact of the Trump administration on their lives. After doing the interviews, I took like hour-long interviews and turned them into 5-minute monologues and hired actors to dramatize the monologues, and had performance artists create work around the themes that the monologues were confronting, and had that turn into a film that's about an hour in length that just came out on June 20th.
Awesome.
Wow.
Do you have any samples you'd like to share?
I had one sample of my work that I wanted to share. It's about 5 minutes. I didn't know if that was too long.
We can watch 2 minutes.
Okay, we'll watch 2 minutes. Do I have share screen power? So this is a collaboration that I did with an artist named Rashad Newsom, who's based in New York City. He did a project called Black Magic, where he essentially got a gospel choir, a live jazz band, and Vogue dancers, and had them create improvisational movement and dance around the 5 elements of Vogue. In the last section, I was invited to read spoken word over some of the movement of the Black male dancers, and I wrote this poem called My Black Male Body to go over the movement section, and this is a sample of it.
My black male body does not belong to you. It is not yours. It will not submit under whip or word. My black male body's purpose is not to further your political or personal agenda. You cannot liberate me. The idea that you can contradicts the concept that I am already free. I am not a savage to domesticate or a slave to repossess. I am not an underdog because I've been past your test. My black male body is not in prison. My black male body is not in pain. My black male body exists here. My black male body exists now. My black male body exists for itself and because of itself. My black male body is male. My black male body is male. My black male body is intimidating. My black male body is strong. My black male body is fighting you. I am not Martin Luther King. I am Jason, Damien, Khalil. I'm that nigga over there. I'm indicated by your fear. My black male body is brown. My black male body is tan. My black male body is pale. My black male body is for you. I am not a movement, a waste, or felt potential. I am not a weapon, an excuse, or a grave. I am what I am. I'm who I have been. I am who I need to be. So I am Sambo. I am Zip Coon. I am Mandingo, and I is pretty. My pain is not a canvas. My history is not a primer for your guilt. I am not a magnifying glass. You will not see yourself through me. You can never fire me because you never hired me. You cannot buy me or reimburse me for my labor. I am not an African. I am not a new Negro. I am not a poem. Romanticize yourself. Clearly, that's what you're used to. I am here for you. I'm here to be something other than you. Something for you to hate. Something at which you can marvel. I am not yours. But I'm not supposed to be. Not hardly. Not possibly. Not ever. Not in any light, at any time. In whatever dimension, string theory, distraction from the nounness that is me. I am an obstacle, a grudge, an improvisation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my Buddha, Krishna, Allah, Vishnu, Kundalini, Kali, Yahweh, and all those other universal folks. Wow, wow. We have some talent in the Zoom building.
In the house.
So, some love for Dacier and some more for Rashida, y'all. Oh, woo! Thank you for sharing your practices. It's just a great reminder of what we are as a collective group of human beings who happen to be artists.
Mm-hmm.
So I really appreciate you sharing your art, and I'm speechless, even though I'm still talking. So thank you for sharing. Arturo, I don't
Thank
even know
you.
how to segue out of that. It's just,
Yeah, no. I'm really just taking a moment to breathe in that
yeah.
all that greatness. That's it. Thank you. You're inspiring, and it is an honor, truly an honor to be part of your support team and to see you and to see all the possibilities for the work and the contribution that you're making to this world and to your community. Thank you for Rashida. Similarly, it's always so great to just be in your presence, guys. You make this work so amazing, so enjoyable, and so inspiring.
Anybody
Gracias.
want to ask any questions or comments on either of the art practices?
I would like to. I just have a question. I guess it's more so for Dazier since we just saw the clip. Now, and maybe anybody can chime in too. I really like what I saw visually and heard, that type of thing. In regards to sending a sample, like a YouTube link or a Vimeo link, the Vimeo link looked like 10 times better than what I've seen on YouTube. So would you all recommend using Vimeo, or Dazier, your experience with Vimeo over YouTube links and sharing your work that way, would you recommend one over the other?
My personal experience has been that it really has to do with the quality of the video you put up. That often, like, people are putting up grainier qualities on YouTube, where people tend to do longer length things on Vimeo, which usually means feature quality filming. So I don't know that it's the platform. I think that it's the quality of what you're putting up. Because I've put things up on YouTube that look fabulous, and I put up things on YouTube that look grainy, and were just, the quality of the video wasn't there. And this particular production had really high documentation. The level of documentation was really high. So it's part of what the quality of what you're seeing. I can't ever stress enough how important it is to document your work and how to make sure it's done by a professional and somebody who can adequately capture it. Like, it's really worth the investment, because it really shows people who weren't there when we're dealing with an ephemeral art form what took place, or gives them a vibe or a feeling. So I've always invested the dollars in at least a photographer and hopefully a videographer.
Beautiful.
As far as either or, the main thing is the quality, and if you do send them to Vimeo, making sure that it's not, or wherever you send them, it's not something that has to be subscription based, or that they need a password for. So it just needs to be really easy for people to access your work. And it looks like Mirage has a hand up.
I just had a question. Now, I could be wrong. Now, in the guidelines or something like that, did they say to not submit Vimeo submissions for work samples? It could be for a different grant, but if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think they have anything specific about Vimeo. They have, let me contextualize this really quickly because we are on time. But if you go to the actual application, right, this is the system where you are going to submit your application. Okay, gracias, thank you. Okay, so this is the actual application, right? Remember, we're doing it so that this is your summary, 65 words. You're gonna copy it from your document and paste it. Narrative, everything you just copy and paste. And write down here your resume, your budget, total expense, total income, budget notes, and here your samples, right? This is, you choose your file. So you can either choose, a PDF, and the PDF can have a link, an external link. In that case, it really doesn't matter if it's YouTube, it's Vimeo, it's whatever it is, okay?
As long as it's something that they don't need a subscription to or a password.
As long as they can get there with one click, that's all we need. Or you can, this is a test that I was running the other day. You can attach an actual, MP4, MOV, AVI, a document that has the video, right? The video itself. If that's the case, they're going to see it in their system. Okay.
In this case, they do accept MP4s. The San Francisco Arts Commission did not accept MP4s, and I wasn't able to submit one of my my samples because I didn't have a MP3 version of it until the day after the submission. So just make sure that your files that you have the file formats that
That
they're looking
they're
for,
fine.
or if you don't, that you have them converted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's even, it says we recommend the MPEG-4 format with minimum 640 by 480 dimensions, I'm assuming, whatever internet video. um,
And if you need any support, like figuring out where you're at with your numbers, check in with your buddy or your coach.
Mhm.
But with that, Arturo, I think we need to
Yes.
move
Start
into
wrapping up. Uh,
the wrapping up.
yes, my friends, my dear students, these are the two things. These are the two things, you know, added to everything else, right? For this week, we just need to complete your 3 work samples. Easy. And we're gonna create a list of items for your budget. Key, we don't have to make our budget yet. We're going to do our budget together next week. We are going to create a list of items that are going to go in our budget, okay? And I want to take a second to ask around who got their. I think I'm gonna pause the. No, no, no. Okay, so who got their quick grant? Raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. Laurita. 5. Michael. Michael. Yes. Okay. Okay. So quick question: who got $450 in their grant? 1, 2. Michael said yes. That's
No.
it.
I did.
You didn't. Okay. Gilberto. Gilberto.
Yes. Oh, I don't know if my mute was on, but I got an email and it was for the money, but I didn't know what to do with it, so I didn't reply.
Beautiful.
Well,
Beautiful.
we'll go through it. We'll go over it in your coaching session.
Okay.
We have to go over this in the coaching session. We're down to 6 minutes.
Okay. Okay. Just the only thing that I wanted to say, ask you is send us your award letters. Send us your award letters. We're going to work on the invoices, and we are going to work on your coaching session on this so that we can submit it as soon as possible and get it back as soon as possible. All right. Guys, what a joy to be in your presence. What a joy to be blessed by your magic, your power, your energy. I would love to acknowledge your contribution, all of you, your voices, your vision. It's all adding up to this that feels more and more ready to be submitted as a complete project. What is something that you would like to acknowledge about today? Something that you're taking with yourself, something that you are grateful for? Mirage.
I wanted to say, looking at Khalid's, how do you pronounce your name? I don't want to keep mispronouncing that, but his budget, not the budget, but his numbers, like getting those numbers, and the how to get the numbers and what it is you specifically you're looking for. I think I was hitting a roadblock with what to look for in as far as numbers. So him getting those percentages kind of gave me an idea. So that was my takeaway. And both of the artists that I presented today, I love their art and just what they presented. So I'm really looking forward to their future work.
Yes. Gracias. Thank you, Mirage. Who else?
What Mirage just mentioned, the best year today, both has some visuals that really captivated the eye, So as was mentioned, investing into a good photographer, videographer, all that type of stuff is important. I mean, the people that would have produced the music in past weeks, the sound quality was great. So it's just further reinforcement as to why this type of funding is needed to produce the type of quality of work that we know that we want to produce. You know what I mean? So I'm happy to see it, and I'm also happy to have heard it as well.
Yes. Thank you, Khaled. Who else?
I'm just really grateful for this space to learn. This is something that, and to learn amongst people who look like me, because this is, I've been through a couple of things where it was just not it. It was not this. It was not it for me, and so I'm just really grateful to, and also just to see that, like, you know, I'm further ahead than I think I am, and also just to witness the greatness that's around me. Like I'm always amazed at what people are doing and the beauty that they're creating in the world. And so I also just wanted to say, Dazier, I am consistently amazed by you. You're fucking awesome. That's
Thanks, Rashida.
Raise your hand if you share this similar experience with Rashida about being ahead of where you believe you are, and then you look at it and you're like, oh man, I actually got it right. Yes, yes. Thank you for that. That's the really nugget of gold right there. Um, yeah, please, the floor is open.
Just want to say thank you for another amazing Saturday. I know it's like not my turn to go again, but I actually love getting these pieces and just learning about new artists and all that good stuff. As I said last week, this is actually a fun way to spend my Saturday mornings. I actually like to learn. So thank you guys for sharing your art and being vulnerable enough to share.
I want to thank everyone for your collective wisdom. And you know, I'm biased because I just love what we're up to. But it's like every week, you know, there's just like more contribution, more contribution. I know it takes a minute for it can take a minute for some folks to warm up, but it's just every week I'm just getting to hear more and more voices, and it's just lovely. And I want to just thank every one of you for your collective contributions and your wisdom, most importantly, because that's what we're here for.
Michael, Dacier, Laura, Gilberto, would you like to share something?
I'm just having thoughts. Nothing in particular. It's more of a vibe.
What's the vibe?
I feel appreciative and I just feel grounded and appreciative.
Thank you. Yes. Gracias. Thank you, Dacier. Okay. Michael, come on, don't be shy. I see you like almost, no, maybe.
I say Michael be Michael, and it would be great if you are open to even just sharing something in the chat if you don't want to. If you don't want to talk, whatever works for you.
Yes, you got it. You got it. You're still muted, huh? Just letting you know that you're muted, Michael. Ah, there you go.
Oh yeah, I was gonna write something, but no, I mean I'm just glad to be here, and it's good to have everyone here to support each other and make time to work on this project. So yeah, I'm just grateful for that.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Dacia, can you share your links to the 45th film and the Vimeo video?
Vimeo I cannot because it's not my property.
Got it.
The 45th, I can make a link available for you next week. It's I just have to get it from the QCC. It's still being hosted, so it's still up for like the next 3 weeks. Because I don't have it up anywhere, but I can. I'll bring a link next week.
Okay.
Beautiful.
45th is a trip to watch.
Gilberto, Laurita, any parting thoughts?
Monica says, "What's up?" when we set the arena this morning. So she wished everybody well for today. And thank you for being flexible in my ability to set my own space, but then also to be present in the space, just like allowing us to, just for being flexible, for allowing everyone to be able to be as successful and as willing and as available as they are for the coaching that needs to be done.
Gracias. Thank you. Mm.
Hello, everybody. I want to be very communicative about my appreciation for everyone again getting together and doing the thing, because it's definitely a Saturday, and it's time and it's energy and it's knowledge we're all sharing together. Dozier, very wowed by your performance and work, and the work that you're doing is just top notch. I really took a lot from it, took a lot to heart from it, and everyone who presented today, the level of research and study was just like something to aspire to in our own writing and fact seeking, and also just showed me how deep the art is, and how deep the healing can be in this project that we're doing. So yeah, just very thankful for everyone's contributions and seeing everyone's developments just like going crazy. So just being born.
Yes. Thank you.
But yeah, just love to everybody, and hope everyone has a gorgeous rest of the weekend. So
Yes, Gilberto, I just want to wish you a prompt recovery, bro. I'm very happy to see that you're doing better, and I'm very happy that you're here. Nevertheless, you're willing to be in the space and to continue to grow. So with that, folks, we just wanna wish you well. We just wanna really wish you a powerful week. We will continue to, fine tune narratives, collaborators, artist bios, work samples, budgets. We are on our way. We're fully on our way, and I see everybody so committed to their vision that I don't have anything else but be committed to my vision, that is to be there for you. So gracias from the bottom of my heart. Muchas gracias. And I will see you next, in your coachings, and if not, next Saturday, right? Órale, do not forget to send us your letter for the CCI.
We'll go over that in the training too.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, pues con eso, let's just go. Hasta la pasta. Ta, 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 ta.